Hello, my name's Sam. I just built this John Frusciante inspired pedalboard, and I'd like to talk you through it. If that sounds boring, just to say, immediately click off this video because it will absolutely kill you with boredom. But if you're still here, then let's do it. So I play in a Red Hot Chili Peppers tribute band based in the south coast of England. We're called the Stone Cold Chili Peppers. We're brand new, and we're very, very new, and newer than that even. We've done 2 shows, and we're going to do our 3rd one the end of next week. And it's very fun. It's very, very fun. Anyway, let's go. So when you first get a pedalboard, it's very important to let your kids jump on it to test that it is durable enough for life on the road. So here's the board that I've been using for our first few shows. Nothing wrong with it at all. It served me well. As you can see, it's got quite a lot of the staple John Frusciante tones on there. Really, really nice. I just wanted something a bit bigger, so I could be extravagant, basically. So here you go. Here's the new board, which is just making my original board look like a tiny little mouse. This is a screwdriver and an electric screwdriver. You've probably seen one of those before. I'll be using that in a second. And that's not supposed to be in there, but that's just a face that I saw on the fan, which I thought was funny, so I took a picture of that. So here we go. Here's my power supply of choice. It's a one spot CS12. It's an absolute beast. It's going to be powering the whole board. Can you see it hiding?
Can you spot it?
Yeah, well done. If you said top right, then yeah, you're correct. That's where it is. So I've roughly placed things on the board where I would like them to go. Round the edges are some kind of, I might try this instead of the one it's next to, pedals. Like the different compressor, different fuzz, different chorus options. So here it is all wired up. I'll talk you through what things do in a minute. But for now, I'm just trying out a couple of different options for the kind of high gain tone. As the Boss Power Stack, thought I'd give that a run in. It was terrible. This is the JHS Synth Mod DS1, so something a bit different. Worked pretty well as kind of a high gain tone. I mean, it's a mad pedal. It sounds really good. I don't fully understand what it's doing, but it's really cool. I'm very happy to have it. It was procured for me by my mate Mark at Tone Chest. So shout out to Tone Chest. He managed to nab this in an auction on my behalf, which was very cool. So thanks, mate, if you're watching this. Are you bored? I imagine so. Ultimately, I've gone back to the Zvex Box of Rock because with how I've positioned it, it's got the boost switch directly above the bypass switch, so I can either kick on just the gain or the gain and the boost if I want more volume simultaneously, which is cool. It's a clever little trick. I'm gonna patent that. Anyway, here's a light show for you with all the pedals switched on. If my amp was on at this time, it would probably blow my house up. Okay, so here it is, done for now at least. Let's have a look at what's actually going on. So guitar into tuner, TU3, can't go wrong. Into the Friedman Sir Compre, which is a compressor with a bit of grit on it, which I thought would be nice for getting that Frusci kind of slightly crunchy tone, and also getting some compression in there, so double win. Going into the Amp 11, which I've kind of got for a little bit of light gain, a bit more light gain from the Brover Drive, which I only really got because I'm in the band with my brother John. And there's brother John. That's me and brother John. That's me and brother John again. It's nice being in a band with brother John. Anyway, back to pedals. So I thought the Brover Drive was quite fun, but actually it sounds amazing. We then skip past the wah the signal chain. We'll come back to that later, but we're going on to the Boss SD1 Super Overdrive, which Frusciante started using in the Unlimited Love and Dream Canteen tours. Great pedal, cheap and cheerful, but just a classic. Then into the Box of Rock, which I decided to stick with for kind of the heavier overdrive sounds, like the kind of 1989 Mother's Milk era, kind of Michael Beinhorn produced heavier riffing guitars, kind of anything that needs a heavy rhythm tone. Going then into the possibly the most important pedal on the board, which is the DS2 Turbo Distortion, which John has used since the beginning of records began. That's his kind of go-to lead tone, which is really good because it's not expensive, it's widely available, it sounds amazing. Going into that for a bit of fuzz, I'm into the 73 Ram's Head, which is kind of a clone with a few more EQ options of a Big Muff, Ram's Head Big Muff, which is cool because you can have flat mids, or you can have the kind of the stock mid cut, or you can boost the mids. So that's going to be useful, I think, for just some lovely like violin like lead stuff. Then I'm going into that cool pedal is actually a limited edition MXR Phase 90, which John uses for some stuff. It's just kind of there for fun, really. Then we circle all the way back to the Ibanez WH10 wah, which is John Frusciante's wah pedal of choice. This is a V3. He's actually using a Wilson modded V3 in the latest tours, but I can't afford that, so I've just got the stock V3, which is really cool. Then going from that into a MXR Dynacomp, because I've noticed there's a big volume jump, a big volume spike with the wah, and having a compressor after it has been like a magic trick for me to just keep everything balanced, and you get that lovely sweep of the wah still, but without kind of kicking everyone's heads off whenever you engage it. So going from that into this sweet new little pedal that I've just got, which is the Past Effects CE7 Chorus Ensemble Mini, which is essentially a Boss CE1 chorus clone, but in a small footprint. If you're watching this, you probably know that the CE1 is absolutely critical to John's sound. If I was being a real purist, I'd put this at the end of my chain like he does, and I would use it to split the signal out into two different amps, but I'm only running a 1 amp setup, so I'm using just a reissue of a Marshall Silver Jubilee. So I'm not actually going to have it at the end because it works for me here. So that has an always on preamp, which provides a little bit of crunch, which is mimicking that preamp of the CE1. And then you can kick on the chorus. It's got a toggle for chorus and vibrato, but I got it in the chorus setting. Sounds really, really nice. If I was being picky, I think I might notice that there's a slight volume cut when the chorus is engaged, so I might look and see if there's like a toggle switch inside, an internal dip switch for that. It might be that there's because I know there's one for like buffer and a couple of other things, so I'll check that out later. Then we're going into the Line 60 L4, which is a pedal that Frusciante used for quite a long time. I don't think it's on his current pedal boards, but it has some great sounds in it. I've got it set up so one is like a light doubling sound, which is just kind of can be used to just thicken up everything. The middle delay is like a sweep filtery sound, which can just sound really nice. It works well for things like the section of Danny California, which is like that bit. That just sounds really cool with a bit of extra texture and sweepy delay. And then the last delay setting is a reverse delay, which I use for ethereal jams and for things like the reverse solo in Give It Away, which I know he doesn't use when playing it live, but I want to, so shut up. Then we go into the MXR micro amp, which is just a clean boost, which John's used for a long time, and it's just used to kind of take a clean sound and cut it through, elevate it, give it a volume kick. He uses it for things like the riffing Can't Stop, and also the cleanish solo in Californication. Then for reverb, because my amp, the Silver Jubilee, doesn't have reverb built in, I'm using the MXR reverb. John actually uses 2 of these on his board. I can't afford 2. But yeah, there's that's what I'm using. And I just twiddle the dials a bit for the songs that want a bit more reverb, like in By the Way, to get that nice spacey sound in the bit. So yeah, it all sounds really good. I can actually play some of the tones in a different, less boring video if you like. But yeah, it's really good. Very, very happy. Excited for our next show at the end of next week. Take it out on the road. Hope it fits on the stage. Anyway, cheers for coming along for the ride. This is much more exciting to me than it is to you, but if you enjoyed it, then give me a like. And yeah, cheers. Thanks very much. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering what guitar I'm using, then this is it. It's a 1989 Fender American Standard Strat, which is a birth year guitar for me. I'm very, very proud of it. Very happy. It's beautiful. It sounds great. It's in great nick for its age, better nick than I am. But then it hasn't got 2 children.